What is going on, everybody? Thank you so much for joining us. This is What's the 411, and it is the first Monday in April. April Fool, some people call it. My kids tried to do a trick on me today, but it didn't work because, I knew the day was coming. Anyways, it is the first day of April. We're moving right along. It was a beautiful day. I hope you guys enjoyed the nice long weekend that we had as well. You spent some good time with your family and your friends. All right. But without further ado, we're going to jump right into this fabulous interview where I have the Honorable Sone, I hope I said that right, with me as a special guest. So go ahead, introduce yourself, let everybody know all the great things that you have going on.
Yes, family, this is Sone G. And firstly, Ellie, it's a pleasure to be on the platform. I am grateful and thankful for affording the opportunity. And so I look forward to, sharing the time with you and sharing my story as well, letting folks know a little bit more about who Sone G is, where I'm from, where I came from, what I'm about, and what I intend to do in ministry. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Okay. Well, you just let me know. We were talking a bit before the show started, and you said that you migrated from warm Jamaica to warm Florida, and now you're out here in cold, cold Canada. So talk to us a little bit about that.
It was a family move. My family wanted to move. We were actually here a couple of years back, 2 years ago actually, and we were stuck here during a winter storm during Christmas. So we ended up spending Christmas and New Year's here, and so it was a story because we wanted to be here. We wanted our kids to experience the snow for the first time, really, and so we decided that we're gonna come to Canada, right, to visit for the Christmas period, and we were even planning on driving because our flight got canceled last minute, and I mean God was wrapped up and tied up in that whole decision not to do that because it was trauma. It was a really bad situation for a lot of people, especially in Buffalo at the time. So we didn't, and we waited, and we came a couple of days after, and we ended up spending Christmas and New Year's, and we made the decision there that we were going to move, and a couple of months later we're here. you know.
That's good. Nice. Well, welcome to Canada. You guys got a
Right.
soft winter this year.
As long as we're here, then it's gonna be good. So yeah.
Yeah. So talk to us about your musical journey. Where did it begin? Where did you hear some tunes and you were like, yeah, this is it for me. I'm gonna be a part of this one day.
It's probably from I was in my mother's womb. My family in Jamaica owns a sound system up to this day. They own a sound system. My grandmother actually birthed the sound system, Viola Davis, and it so happened that I was always around the sound system, and always around the artists as well that came to my community to do dub plate or to eat fish or whatever the case is. But I was familiar with seeing these guys around in the area, and also familiar with the sound system and what the sound system was about. So naturally, I was drawn to dancehall and reggae music, and because of that, the love was just there from birth. And I was just there in the environment. Once you're in Jamaica, you can't escape reggae and dancehall. So it's like it's a part of you. You can't do anything about it. It's a part of it. A part of growing up in Jamaica. And
Mhm.
so the love for it just stayed, and it grew and it grew and it grew. But it all kind of changed direction. The love for it, not the love for it changed, but how I would pursue it changed because I got saved when I was very very young, at 12 years old. So that's kind of how it got started though with the sound system.
Okay. So you got saved at 12 and you decided that you were gonna still make music but change where or how you wanted to make the music.
Yeah. So at the time I got saved in 1998, and at the time the Main Street crew in Jamaica was really 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 kicking off. That's a gospel version of the Main Street crew with Prodigal Son, DJ Nicholas, Ryan Mark, Jason Mighty, and those guys, right? So I started to get those guys songs and started to singing them over in concerts in my church and rally and so on. So that was how I got introduced to this version of reggae music, of gospel reggae as it is called now, and so I kept on doing it and singing over those guys' songs. But I had a friend, Jason Royalty, who, he was a writer from the get-go. He's just a prolific writer, and he's always writing comedically, but he's just such a prolific writer and can write on the spot. And he would be always writing songs, and at the time I wasn't writing songs. I didn't, for whatever reason, I wasn't even interested in writing songs. But as time go by and as I began to learn more or get more involved in music like that, then I realized that it was necessary to start writing, and I ended up migrating from Jamaica to Canada. I'm sorry, to Florida after high school. I went to high school in Jamaica, went to Clarendon College, and then I left school, went directly to Florida, and yeah, continued. That's where everything kind of blew up, as far as the musical journey is concerned, because I met a friend, Natty Prince, and we basically formed a duo, and we started to do music, and then everybody started to know who we are, and because we were promoting ourselves as the youthful, energetic, gospel artists, so that's what we were doing at the time. And so we started writing music and so on, and travel and performing and ministry, all of the good works, and so it was very good during that period of time in Florida doing
Mm.
music.
Okay, so you started writing. What did you write your first song about?
The first song was the first song
Or
was
the first song you could remember writing about, like
the
what?
first song we recorded. Let's do that. The first song
Mhm.
we recorded was a song called Deliverer, and the chorus is a famous chorus that we sing in church. Jesus is my deliverer.
Mhm.
Let him be your deliverer. And so we redid that chorus, and then we wrote lyrics to the verse, and so on. So we had our own verse. We wrote our own verses, but we basically adopt the Jesus is my deliverer
Okay.
chorus, and that just catapulted our career. We were going as Positive Energy at the time. That was the name of the duo, Positive Energy.
Okay.
And so that song kind of just put us in on the radar, as you would say. And we would get Brother Geary, was a very instrumental part of that, because he was the first person who actually gave us a platform both on the radio and on the stage, to do concerts. So big respect to him as well for his role.
So when you guys actually performed for the first time, how did that feel?
Funny story. My friend, I mean, it was I was personally, I'm always speaking, public speaking, or I'm familiar with dealing with crowd. I wasn't somebody who was a novice in terms of dealing with crowd, so it wasn't nerve-wracking.
Mhm.
The first concert was a massive concert with some big names in gospel music, hundreds of people in the church, I remember, and we got a very nice slot as well in on the concert, and we just did our songs, we did our thing. We weren't nervous. We were just happy to have the moment, and we knew that we had to take full advantage of the moment, and we did, and it was a very exciting time.
Yeah. So is creating Christian music and the Christian music industry easy to be a part of?
I think so. I think so. It's easy to be a part of from my perspective. That's what I would say. From my perspective, to create music, it's a really and truly it's a gift. Um, probably it's a talent, it's a gift, right? And being able to write and put songs together, it's not really a big issue. What I found this year though is at the beginning of the year, my friend, myself, the journey, Jason Mighty, a couple of my friends, um, Prince Saj, couple of my friends, we decided that we're gonna go on fasting, and we decided we're gonna pray and seek God's face for the first month of the year. And that I personally decided I wasn't going to write any song. I wasn't going to use my studio for any of those purposes. I wanted to make the sacrifice and you know focus on seeking God. The word said, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and His righteousness, and all these things shall be added after." And I feel that that is the only way to do anything, and not that we're seeking God to attain all of these things, but that is our desire as well. So what is in our desire, He will allow us to have what it is that we desire. So not that we're seeking Him so that He can do this. We're not trying to pimp out God. We are seeking Him because we know that's what we need to do, but because we have this desire as well, He in turn is not going to withhold any good thing from us. And what I found is that writing has become so much easier. I mean, it's an afterthought, to be honest, and that's why I said it's easy earlier, because of the work that is done before even writing a song. If when I get a beat or a rhythm from somebody, it's not like I'm going to pen and paper and say, I need to write, it's not like that. I come in my studio, I turn on my machine, I put up the beat and I play it, and the Holy Spirit ministers to me, and I reflect that in the song that is eventually produced, and it doesn't take any long time either. The same night the song will be finished. So that's what I would say, that it can be easy when you apply yourself, or you approach it the right way. I think that's the best way I can phrase it, when you
Mhm.
approach it the right way.
Okay. And so I guess the your own personal journey with Christ must be important to you. Talk to us a bit about that, because if you're putting him before all things, then um it's got to be something that's really important to you. So tell us how important that is.
I got to say when I was 12. That's how important it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to say when I was 12, and I never went astray, went away from Christendom. I I grew up in church and also the dance hall at the same time, because I sometimes I'm living with my grandmother who owns a sound system, and during those period of time, you go dance hall, you go wherever the sound is or whatever the case is, and that was normal. And I'm living with my other grandmother, Miss Glassman, and she forced me to go to church. I had to go to church every Sunday, so I had sort of influences from both worlds. And when I decided I was gonna follow Jesus in 1998, when I was 12, that was it. My mind was made up, and the story of how I got saved is the reason why I think that I was that determined, because it wasn't as though I heard something that the preacher had said that stirred me or moved me to the point where I said, "Oh, I surrender," or I need to do this. It wasn't like that. He was praying for children who were going back to school, and my grandmother told me to go to the altar for him to pray for me as well. And I remember that night just crying, uncontrollably. And uh, before that time, the only time I remember crying was when the period set. to get some whooping, you know what I'm saying? So, so it was an emotional roller coaster because here I am experiencing an emotion that I am not accustomed to. I don't know what is going on. You know, I was just crying for no reason that I could pinpoint, you know, and so I decided then that I was going to give my life to God, and, you know, I decided I was going to serve him from then. And from then, you know, our church was such that they would give young people opportunities. So I was preaching from a young age as well, and that continued to this point. You know, so a lot of things that I am doing now naturally started back way back then, and you know, a lot of the teachings, a lot of the scriptures that I know now, you know, obviously came from, you know, all of those years in Sunday school, and growing up with my friends in Rocky Point, you know, just kind of, you know, loving God, and loving what was afforded me as a young man at the time, you know. So yeah.
Wow, that's powerful. Um, so there are lots of individuals who are, in whatever industry there are, maybe entrepreneurs, maybe they're in the music industry, but it's not always easy for them to follow, the Christian way, that like following Christ. Would you have any advice for anybody who is looking to get into the Christian music industry? What would you say to them?
It's something that will fulfill you if that's what your desire is, right? That's the first thing. If you desire it, then I would say pursue it. Yes, 100% pursue it. But I will also let you know that you have to ensure that you're going into it with the right reasons. Like I mentioned earlier, as an artist, your at the top of your list is always to break out, right? And so that people can hear your music, and people love your music, and so on. That is always going to be a top of an artist list. But I've found, like I said earlier, that putting God first is of utmost importance. And when you do that, everything else start to fall in place. And also, not just that, but you realize that your priorities are going to be in the right order once you start putting God first. Because making music is not, making Christian music is not about becoming the most popular person, or breaking out. That is not the purpose of why we do Christian music, or why there gospel artists exist. Why I do music, I will say, it's because I love God. I want to reach people with the message that I'm getting. At heart, we are ministers. At heart, we're carriers of the gospel. And so my idea is that, I'm preaching the gospel through music, right? And the persons who will hear it are persons, anybody who hear it will benefit from it. Even a non-believer, a word will be planted in their heart, and the word will germinate. The word will grow in their heart, and that same song might be the thing that helped them to get converted to be a Christian. So I would say to that person, yeah, man, pursue it with all of your heart, with all of your soul, with all of your mind. Just ensure that you're putting the first things first. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you keep God first. You know what I'm saying? And that would be my advice. Always keep the first thing first.
First things first. Yes, I like that. Also, I was listening to some of your tunes, and so I think the my favorite one would be Find a Way. I like that one there.
Wow. I
Yeah.
actually just released that one too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just released a song maybe 2 months ago, month and a half ago, I would say, not even 2 months, months ago, not even month.
Yeah.
That song is a real powerful song. That song is coming from a deep place, a real place. It's a real experience that actually one of my closest friends, he and his family is going through a very difficult time, and I was reminded of the story, of
Abraham,
not Abraham, Jacob.
Jacob.
Yeah. And it was such a moving thing because the firstly, let's go back to Abraham. Because God promised Abraham that his seed would be blessed. And we know that he was talking about Jesus, right? And we are, Jesus said when he was leaving, right, he would not leave us empty handed or without a comforter, as the word say. And the Spirit of the Lord is inside of us. And if the covenant is with Jesus, right, through Abraham, and then Jesus is in us now, that makes us the blessing, the promised blessing. And so that's what kind of gripped me, and I was like, when the song just came out naturally, find a way, and the finding a way is really saying I need to see or experience that blessing that was promised, so I need to walk that blessing. And it song really, really, really ministered to me, and I really like it, and it ministered to a lot of people. A lot of people are write or text me, or make comment, when post a song on social media and so on, and a lot of people are experiencing difficult periods, and they can relate to this song, right, reaching out to God, crying out to God to find a way, kind of like the woman who went to Jesus, and Jesus said to the woman that you can't take the children's bread and give it to the dogs. And the woman said, "Oh Lord, even the crumbs, even the crumbs that fall from the table." You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm not leaving. Hey, I don't care what you want to say. I'm not leaving
Mhm.
until you bless me. And
Yeah.
and that's just ministry right there, because one thing that teaches us is that God, Jesus, cannot ignore faith. He cannot ignore faith. And
Mhm.
therefore, the Bible tells us that without faith, it's impossible to please God. So if we want to please God, then we exercise and walk in faith, because He cannot ignore it. And He will be pleased if you walk in it.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the song is really about, just walking in faith, just standing there and say, hey, I don't care what you want to say though.
Yep.
I need
Amen.
mine. I need
Yep.
mine.
Yep. Yeah, I found it extremely powerful. And especially when you're like, you're not leaving until you bless me. Like, I'm not leaving until you bless me. Like, I'm staying here. I am going to stay here. I'm going to have my faith until, I see my blessings. So, yeah, I love that
Yes.
one. But I mean, a lot of your songs are very, they just draw you in. I was listening to it and then I'm searching for more and more. And even my kids too, they were listening to it as well, with me. And they're just like, yeah, mom, I like this. So it's nice. Very,
Sure.
very nice. Mm.
Sure.
So where can we find your music if we're looking for it? Where can we actually like locate all of your tunes?
All of my songs are available on Spotify. If you're an Apple user, you can find them on iTunes already, or Apple Music, or YouTube. You can go to YouTube and search for my music. And if you want to connect with me, also, you can hit me up on Instagram. My Instagram handle is underscore Sone, Sone underscore G. So it's underscore Sone underscore G, and that's how you will find me on Instagram. Or you can go to my website. Go to my website and sign up for my mailing list, and be a part of the Sonagy ministry family. Sonagy.live is the website. Sonagy.live.
Sonergy.live. Okay. And so what are we expecting to see from you this year? Like, do you have any plans? Are you putting out any more music? Like, give us the full scoop.
I think this might be the first place that I'm going to be saying this, but Later on this year, something big is coming. I'm actually
Ooh,
working on a project, releasing a project later on this year. But I am releasing another song, not this Friday, but next Friday, featuring Jason Mighty. So that song is going to be a nice song as well. Looking forward to that. But yes, something I'm working on a project that is going to be released in the summer of this year, and yeah, my first major project really. So
okay.
yeah, looking forward to that. And I will be releasing a number of singles before the project drops, but and the first one will be next Friday. A song called Yahweh featuring Jason Mighty. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Okay, and so we can find this song. You're gonna put it out on all your social media platforms,
Definitely.
right? Okay, okay, all right. So we're looking forward to that. So there's something big coming in the summer. We should be looking out like June, July, August.
Right,
What month are we looking out
right.
for this?
July. What July we're planning for right now.
Okay, okay, all right. Something major. Okay.
Exclusive. Yeah.
All right. Okay, well, I just honestly want to thank you so much for jumping on and sharing your story with us. We appreciate it. It was great having you.
Thank you.
And you're welcome. And so, usually what I like to do is I like to ask the guests if they have, like a last word, anything that you kind of go by on a daily basis that keeps you going, because we know how sometimes, it's not easy, life can throw some stuff at you sometimes, which has you, in a little bit of a rough spot from time to time, hills and valleys, right? So, what do you say to yourself, or where do you find the words, maybe through scriptures or however, like what do you do in order to keep yourself going?
Firstly, I want to say again, El, thank you, because do what you're doing is helping to uplift, our communities. That's the first thing, and it's
Welcome.
also exposing and giving a platform to persons like myself who are trying to contribute in a positive way to society. So I'd like to say thank you, for allowing me on the platform. And I look forward to even doing this at some point again. But thank you. And to answer your question, I keep going back to this, because a lot of times, when we're growing up, our grandmother or some older person will say something to us in some cliche, and at the time we probably don't even understand what it means or whatever the case is. As we grow older, we start to understand better, and a lot of cliches used in our household because we're Caribbean people, and so you find that, it doesn't get any. It's no different. There's no new thing that is going to come along that persons haven't tried before. And what is tried and true and remains is, sort of along the line of what I said earlier, that, seeking God is the ultimate thing, the only thing I would go as far as saying. Um, and it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's financial issues, whether it's relational, family issues, it doesn't matter what it is that is happening, going on in life. The point is that, um, the, the God in whom we serve, God in whom we serve, like the word said, is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. The word cannot lie. The word is true. The Bible tells in Psalms that forever, O Lord, thy word is settled, which means that anything at all that the word says is accurate and is true and will be proven if you hold on to faith. And if we ask, we shall receive. And if we seek, we shall find. And so, I hold those things dearly. And, I say I have this saying, and it goes like this: take God seriously because He's serious about what He wants to do for you. All right. Take God seriously because he's serious about what he wants to do for you. So if we're gonna take him seriously, then we're gonna do our part, because at no point the onus is gonna be on God to do for you what he said he's going to do. Because if he said he's going to do it, then it means that he has already done it. So we just have to do our part in having faith and seeking him and watch him work in our lives. I know I know it sounds cliche, but it's just not. It's not. It's just what is. It's just facts. It's just reality. And if we live it through, if we live with this kind of a mindset, taking him seriously, because he's serious about what he wants to do for us, then we'll find that the things that are bothering us will become insignificant, and will be reduced to dust, and he will just step in and eradicate certain situations. So that's what I would say as my final word.
Okay, guys. You heard it here first. Take him serious, because he's got some serious things that he wants to do for us. So we have to put him first. First things first, right? First things first. Anybody want to say what's up to?
Yeah, man, definitely want to say thank you to all your fans, all the persons who are a part of the team, everybody who ensure that it works, everybody who tune into the program, everybody who support you, everybody who is a part of your Instagram page and all your social media pages. Thank you for being a part of this experience. And I also want to say hello to all of the team members, the journey, Jason, Prince, Saj, Tashara, Karia, the whole family. And shout out to my well, I don't know if she's watching at the moment. Might be my wife. She's the person who kind of hold everything together. You know what I'm saying? She's holding down the kids right now. So
Yes.
yeah, man. So
Ooh,
yeah, man. Thank God for her. And the blessing that she is in my life.
beautiful. And we also want to send a shout out to Jermaine Cohen, because
Yes,
he
yes.
actually, yeah, he hooked us up, he was on the show. If you guys didn't see his interview, you definitely want to check it out. But he so graciously gave me a couple of different individuals to connect with, and you're one of them. So I'm very grateful for him as well. Mhm. Yes, you guys have a great team. I love it. Yeah, man. All right, guys. Well, that is it. It's a wrap for What's the 411. This episode was fabulous. I hope you guys were taking some notes on some powerful gems that this gentleman just dropped for us. You definitely want to make sure that we're reflecting on the right things. It doesn't really matter what path you want to take in life, but you got to remember some core things, putting the Lord first, always placing your plans before him, because like he said, he can't lie. He is the truth. And so, his word will never come back to him void. So we just gotta lay it down for him, and he's gonna make it happen, because like he said, he's serious about us. So if we take him serious things are gonna happen in our lives. All right. All right, guys. Okay, so make sure you guys tune in. I also want to just let you guys know that I just dropped the first episode of Black Love in the Six. So if you haven't gotten a chance to check it out, make sure you do. We have three more episodes coming. So this is the very first episode. It took so long for us to get this organized, but it is out there. So you guys go in, take it in, just different perspectives on different individuals in our city and what they think about Black love. Does it exist? What's their definition of it? How does it work? All of those things. So check it out, guys. All right. Thank you so much. And I will see you same time, same place next week. All right. All right.